There's one question I've gotten more than any other. Where's the original human sunset shimmer? Cause the one we know is from Equestria. We met the original human Twilight, but why haven't we heard anything about Sunset? It's possible we've been asking the wrong question. Instead of where's human sunset, maybe we should be asking, is there a human sunset? She may not even have a human world counterpart. Think about it this way. No one has brought the worlds together more than Sunset. She introduced magic to the human world and introduced the human world to Equestria's rulers. These worlds are connected and tied together through Sunset. This might have been her destiny from the beginning. Look at her cutie mark. The two colors may symbolize both worlds and the balance she brings between them. She doesn't have two different places, one in each world. She has one place between the two worlds. And there's no need to have a reflection in the other world if she's meant to be the hinge that connects them. Now, I do like this idea. It's poetic and all, but it can't be proven. Even if we never ever see an alternate sunset shimmer, it'll always be possible that she's out there beyond our detection. Because of this, we have to consider the possibility that Sunset does have a human world counterpart, or at least did. There's an idea floating around that the equestrian Sunset killed the human world Sunset and took her place. Could this be why we haven't seen her? I don't tend to think so. While that might be something Demon Sunset would do, I have trouble believing regular Sunset would stoop that low. Even pre-Reformation, she never seemed to resort to physical harm. So if there is a human world Sunset, there's no reason to think her life doesn't go on. But that brings us to our next question. What would her life even look like? At first, this seems like a hard question to answer because our Sunset's life was centered around magic. How do you translate that to a world without magic? Well, the same can be said of Twilight and Star Swirl. All three of these ponies have natural magical talents that largely shaped their lives. But magic isn't everything to them, so let's take it out of the equation and look at what's left. Twilight and Star Swirl would still be very studious individuals with a strong curiosity and a passion for learning. The human world may not have magic for them to study, but it does have science, and that's what we see with their human counterparts. Twilight studies science, and Star Swirl was a great scientist, though presumably he's been dead for a while. Which, can we talk about how weird it would be if our Star Swirl went to the human world? That would be like if Isaac Newton came back from the dead, except it wasn't actually Isaac Newton, but a version of him from an alternate world where he was a wizard. Actually, that sounds about right. Anyway, let's apply the same principle to Sunset. Unlike Twilight and Star Swirl, who were driven by their academic curiosity, Sunset was driven by pride and ambition. Remove magic from the equation, and perhaps her pride and ambition would latch on to something else. Another area where she feels superior. Perhaps her musical skills. She does have a nice voice and plays a pretty mean guitar. I can see her thinking she's the next Sapphire Shores and pursuing a music career. But of course, just like with Pony Sunset, her impatience and lack of humility would sabotage any chances she had. So this world's Sunset may just be a failed musician, bitter at the world for not recognizing her talent, too full of herself to achieve success. And maybe that's why we haven't heard from her. She hasn't made a big splash and lives far enough away to fly completely under the radar. But of course, there's endless other possibilities as well. So what do you think? Is there an original human Sunset Shimmer? If so, where is she? What is she like? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you want to support this channel financially, check out my perks at patreon.com/sawtoothwaves. And thank you so much to everyone who already has, especially my Alicorn tier patrons. The Nameless One, Darth Sylar 12, Gilded Page, Petrolhead02, Cyanax, Princess Starglow, Allison H, Grim Eclipse, and the winner of this week's Alicorn raffle, Equinox 3141. Congrats, and thanks again for everyone's support. Y'all help make this channel possible. I'm Sawtooth Waves signing out until Friday after next. Brohoof.